Welcome back, Hoodlings, to more Spellcasting 101. Alright, we're here in Chapter 3, The Islands of Lost Souls. That's S-O-L-E-S, however. That can also mean S-O-U-L-S. In fact, as we're about to soon find out, there are some lost souls, and that's basically what this entire island is about. We'll get more into that shortly. I had to pre-play through this part of the game because I had no frickin' clue what was going on here. But we're gonna play it as if I hadn't played it already. As with most adventure games we do here, I'll try to act surprised. And sometimes I try new things and I get surprised anyways. Let's see. Meadow. Well, let's read the sign first to kick things off. Welcome to the Island of Lost Souls, population 80. Below someone has scrawled, listen to our story, O traveler, and then help us if you can. We were always content being the Island of Lost Souls, until by and by some grew tired of the constant splinters and blisters and summoned a famous cobbler from a distant land, Waldo Bootlacer. He performed remarkably, and for the first time in anyone's memory, we had souls. Unfortunately, due to a bank error, our check to Bootlancer bounced. Thinking that he was being cheated, he contracted the AIDS virus, an evil warlock named Lord's Stormkiller, to enact revenge upon us. Stormkiller cast a horrible spell which transformed us from the Island of Lost Souls to the Island of Lost Souls, at least until some kind-hearted sorcerer arrives to restore us. The spell has entrapped us one by one in non-human forms. Only I, Blaze, mayor of the island, remain human. And even now I feel Alright. So basically, we need to restore the lost souls of all 80 inhabitants on this island. And that is literally all we do. The puzzling part is you have to figure out what inanimate objects these people have been turned into. For instance, this first one's not too difficult. The mayor's name is Blaze, and there's a fire blazing in front of us. So simply, we cast Kabul. But you're always going to use the character's actual name. As long as you're on the right screen, it'll work. A gust of wind extinguishes the fire, leaving behind a red-faced man with a flaming orange hair. He shakes your hand warmly and departs. We're going to get 80 points out of this, by the way. Meadow. Okay, we're back in the meadow. So, we saved Mayor Blaze. There's also a little nymph, which will fly around, and she'll give you random names. So you can use those as well to kind of put together name versus object. And normally it'll be a partial name. Or some kind of adjective or whatever, describing the object. It's pretty witty. The fire has left part of the hayfield blackened and sooty. Lying in the field is a leg joint which seems to have sustained some fire damage. A flying insect is buzzing around the powdery embers left behind by the fire. Oddly, it seems to be searching for honey. So we got a bee. The fire has left part of the hayfield black and sooty. So, another one of the names in the meadow is Ash Bee. We know there's a bee flying around. Or the insect, rather. We could go examine insect. And of course it gives us this smart-ass answer. When I first cast this, I thought it was going to be from the ash and the fire. Stinging speed, the bee becomes a man, falling from the air into a pile of ashes. Thanks, he says. Nice of you. Must be going. I'm very busy. In a wink, he's gone. And your score goes up by 1. Okay, there's a burnt leg joint. A leg joint can also be a knee. So there's a burnt knee. If you walk around long enough, again, the nymph will give you enough of these names And you'll see there's a Bernie that's also missing. I'm going to explain these as we go so we're not on this island forever. And we're just going to knock out each people on each of the places. So, Bernie. The knee heals, and then sprouts a body. A body belonging to an angular fellow. He offers you a knobby hand, and then shambles away with an odd, doubly jointed gait. What else do we have here? We have burnt hay fields. Can I have my fucking cursor? Thank you. We have a blackened sight. So we want to focus on these burnt stuff. Examine sucks. Look at. Alright, that doesn't help us much either. That's lazy. Look around. The fire has left part of the hayfield blackened and sooty. The fire has left part of the hayfield blackened and sooty. The best I can come up with for these last two names are that blackened and sooty can also mean charred. We have two names as you're walking around the island that you'll gather. One is Charlotte and one is Charlie. Or Charlie and Charlotte. Suddenly, the lot contains a house, or at least a woman the size of a house. She runs over and gives you a smothering hug, plunging you deep into the cleavage of her enormous breasticles. By the time you catch your breath, Charlotte is out of sight, although the air still shudders beneath her distant footsteps. Boosh, boosh, boosh. The charred grass of the Lee, LEA, turns from black to green as Charlie, a man with ebony skin and a gritty smile, steps up to shake your hand before departing. I'm not familiar with words I just used in the previous sentence. Alright, anyways, that's it for the meadow here. You get off the surfboard, and you're now standing to the west of a white house. An automobile is parked here. Paths lead away from the house to the north, west, and south. The house can be entered from the front porch to the east. A large metal play set for climbing and swinging and other fun children shit is sitting in the yard next to the porch. A short wooden dowel protrudes from the wall of the porch. It's probably intended for the hanging of outerwear. Or flags. The auto must have a flat tire. A device has been used to lift one of its wheels right off the ground. A number of male passengers are sitting in the automobile. A small metal device for opening locks is hanging on a nail there. It is inscribed with tiny lettering. A button glowing from within is mounted on the wall of the house, right next to the front door. A rectangular bristly pad sits on the porch, just in front of the door. You see a hand truck here. All right. So we're at the west of the house. We have a car with men in it. So we have the name Carmen. The doors of the car fly open, and instead of a bunch of men out steps a tall, dark-skinned woman wearing a sarong. Perched atop her head is an absurdly tall pile of fresh fruit. She dances away, her hips swinging rhythmically. We also have a jack, which is using to keep the car up. Shout out to Jacksaw Jack. Kabul Jack. The auto sags a bit and you notice a man trapped beneath. A moment later, he lifts it off his chest and stands up. You see that he's a big fellow who looks strong enough to lift, well, automobiles. Being pinned under an auto is no picnic, but it sure beats being a lost soul. He extends a powerful hand. Put her there, pal. We also have a doormat, so we will try Matt. A sour-faced man is now sitting by your feet. I suppose you think I should be grateful. Forget it. He notices your hurt expression. Yes, I know I'm bristly. You'd be too if you'd been walked on by people your whole life. He stomps away. We also have the doorbell. So we're going to... bell is pronounced with an E. You spy a beautifully looking hot-ass woman with her frilly silken hoop shirt as she steps off the porch. Her dark hair falls in ringlets, stark contrast against her pale, delicate skin. Whoever you are, I've always depended on the kindness of sorcerers, but I must be getting back to the plantation. Father will be so worried. As God is my witness, I'll never be Kabuled again. She curtsies before leaving. All right. A large metal playset for climbing and swinging and other fun stuff. That could be thought of as a jungle gym, so we want to try the name Jim. The short wooden doll, that could be Dolly, protrudes from the wall of the porch. A small metal device for opening locks is hanging on the nail there. That's a key. Read tiny lettering. Taking the inscribed lock opener first, yours. In other words, yours is my key. A little boy bounds towards you, chews on some loose paint chips, and pops a few stones into his mouth, and then takes a sizable bite out of your ankle. Hi, I'm Mikey. I'll eat anything. He zooms away, stuffing hands full of grass and leaves into his mouth. We also got the gym. A V-shaped man with the physique of a bodybuilder stands in the center of the lawn, his oiled skin glistening in the sunlight. He strides towards you, his ample muscles rippling. Thanks, bud! He shakes your hand with a grip that leaves your hand bones the approximate consistency of dry sand. Well, time for my workout. See ya! Lug bounds off. There's also a peg. Holding the key, a little girl wanders down the steps from the porch. Where's my daddy? He promised to take me to the circus. She fights back a sniffle and toddles off. And then we also had the dowel, which is going to be Dolly. A woman in the evening dress, draped with a feathery bow, slowly descends the porch, stairs, singing, Hello, Annie. Well, hello, Annie. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. Odd you've never been here before, but before you have a chance to figure it out, let alone figure out where all those dancing waiters and jazz musicians come from, they're all gone. Alright, and I think that covers all the people west of the house. Looks like I'm still carrying around this stupid-ass newspaper. Alright. Open the front door, go into the living room. This parlor has doorways to the east and west. In addition, a rickety stair leads downwards. A pedestal, next to the stair, bears a carved inscription. There must be one heck of a poker game going on here when everyone got enchanted. The part is tremendous. There's a piece of paper taped to the wall. It appears to be a page that has been torn out of a magazine. You see an accounting statement, a man's silk neck ornament, which could be a tie, an indivisible particle, stuffed moose, and a safe here. Well, instead of tie, it's TY. A neck appears within the tie, and then a man appears around the neck. The man next makes a choking sound and loosens the tie. Good! I hate these things. Where'd it come from? Where did I come from, for that matter? And what's my lifetime batting average? Still pondering these other questions, Ty steals away. Get it? Steals away. All right, here. Look at. Let's see. Look at the cushions. Cushions are piled into an informal sofa. We're going to read the accounting statement. The net value of your business of January 1st of last year was $1 million. Now, January 1st of this year, the net value is $999,999.95. Okay. Let's take a look at the poker pot. And of course, we've seen them all. We're getting really tired, so let's sleep. You slide to the floor and fall asleep. You're wandering down the corridors of Melting Wolf Hall. It's the day of the Spellcasting 101 final exam, and you can't remember where you left your spellbook. You wake up rested, refreshed, and eager to face the world. And we're back in the living room. Talisman, registration. I got my inventory. Every time you sleep, you basically drop everything. Stuffed moose and a safe. Need to take our spellbook here. Indivisible particle, that's going to be an atom. AKA Adam. And even though we've taken the indivisible particle, that's alright. You almost don't notice the young lad with the reel and rod due to his unusually small size. Hi, he squeaks. I'm going fishing. He explodes out of the room. Punny pun pun pun. We also have the poker pot. Stuffed moose. Let's open the safe. $1 coin, a cent, some gems, and a legal document. Let's read this legal document here. My final testament: to my beloved son, I leave my ship's steering wheel. To my beloved nephew, I leave my 5th letter of the alphabet. To my beloved mother, I leave herself. To my beloved grandson, I leave my clinging seed pod. To my beloved gardener, I leave my sweet potato. And to my beloved chiropractor, I leave my 2,000-pound weight. Finally, to my stuffed moose, I leave my small round green vegetable. A small round green vegetable is a pea. So a name we could derive from that would be Pierre. Pierre, looking somewhat less moose-like and quite a bit less stuffed, cries, "Sacre bleu! I have le pea! Now I can retire to the Riviera!" He glances scornfully at you. I would give thee a tip, little sorcerer, but I don't seem to have any loose vegetables in my pocket at the moment. So in the safe, we have dollars and cents, but dimes, dimeless, quarterless, and we're Nicholas. So Nicholas must be a name. Let us kaboo Nicholas. A mousy man with a breast pocket full of pencils appears with a counting statement he had been. He looks around with squinty eyes. Reuse those paper clips. My lower grade pencils. No personal use of a photocopier. Alright. More souls to free. We're gonna also kaboo Kitty. With the clatter of chips, the pot becomes a slinky woman in the tattered leopard skin bikini. She leaps on top of you, growling. That was wild. I had a deuce of a time. But when the chips were down, it was good bet that stud like you wouldn't fold on me. It was in the cards. What do you say we hit the deck? I'm really stacked and I've got great hands. No, okay, no big deal. But give Auntie a kiss at least. One kiss later, Kitty shuffles away. Actually, I had to look that one up. Wasn't sure how Kitty and poker's tied together, but I'm sure there's some term I'm missing out on. Let's go ahead and look at the ad. Balmoral Weight Loss Clinics. I lost 385 pounds in 45 minutes while stuffing myself with cake and pizza, says Mrs. Zelda, beached whale of Danderville. Well, we've all seen these ads before. They're lying ads. Or ads that lie. So let's try the name Adelaide. Or Adelaide. Adelaide. Sleazy man leaps from the advertisement. Better menthol taste, he cries. Brighter, tougher shine. Finally an affordable luxury car. I'm going to be education president. The man begins foaming at the mouth and some orderlies in white coats take him away. Go ahead and get a little save on here. I think we're done in this room. Let's head east into the kitchen. You've entered a cramped cookery. A doorway to the west stands next to the bottom of a flight of steep stairs. It appears as if some mad chef threw a temper tantrum while making bread. A huge wad of uncooked bread batter has been splattered against the vertical surfaces of the room. A handful of ground beef shaped into a flat circle rests on the counter. Well, that's going to be patty. A hearty soup, maybe stew, thick with meats and vegetables, and simmers on the stove, and you see alcoholic lime drink, a bottle of nutty wine, a tiny square of butter, and a hot dog, aka a Frank. We'll go ahead and get Patty here. Top of the morning to you, lad. Ah, 'tis a fine day for you having your soul restored. Patty skips away whistling a jig. Fun fact, the game hoarder cannot whistle. Sherry! The bottle transformed into even more curvaceous form of a buxous woman. She runs over to kiss you and then giggles. Was that too forward of me? I just can't control myself when I've had a bit too much of wine. I see a really cute guy, especially a really cute guy who's an up-and-coming sorcerer. Ooh, and you do seem to be up-and-coming. You glance down and when you look up again, Sherry is gone. Sherry is a type of nutty wine. Okay, making sure we're in naughty mode. What else do we got going on here? We have dough on the walls, therefore we have Waldo. And the walls are suddenly clean, unlike the nasty little fellow you notice stomping on your toes. No, I don't want bread. Daddy said I could have ice cream. Wah! He stomps off, flinging bits of dough to and fro. And the stew, the simmering stew, with astounding suddenness, the pot of soup turns into a beefy man. Youch! He cries, jumping off the hot stove. After thanks and a hearty handshake, he retreats. If my wife finds out that I've been hanging out on the stove again, I'm dead meat. The fuck out of here with that. We also have Frank the hot dog. There's a flash of smoke and the smell of burning charcoal. When the air clears, the sausage has been replaced by a long, thin man who bows politely and departs. Now the lime drink, I had to look this one up, but apparently there is a lime drink called a Ricky. The game really doesn't give you any kind of clues to this. The other catches with games like these is figuring out the exact verbiage to use. It smells like an alcoholic lime drink. It looks like an alcoholic lime drink. Open alcoholic lime drink will give you the benefit of the doubt and assume wherever you grew up they had a strange definition of the word open. No, you actually have to open anything before you can drink it normally, dumbass. Unless you buy already open shit. A tiny square of butter. Another name for a tiny square of butter is a pat. A pat of butter. So type it in already. Ricky. Customer support and info appears before you. Well, we gotta spell Ricky a different way. It's actually spelled with R-I-C-K-E-Y as far as the drink goes. But again, you have to alter these names. Now this nymph will also fly around and shout out names of people on the island. So that's how you're going to get some of the correct spelling of them. With a faint burping sound, the lime Ricky dissolves into a rotund fellow with a bow tie and a red nose. Thanks for the help, Miss Jack. Can I buy you something to drink? No time, you say. You're lost. He staggers, staggers away. And last but not least, I think we have to Kabul, the pat of butter. When you catch sight of Pat with her golden hair, glowing healthy skin, and glistening lips, your insides turn to, well, butter. Hi, big boy. She touches a finger to your lips, then runs it slowly down your chesticle bone. Why don't you meet me later for a massage? I've got some kinks I need to work out. She walks deliciously away, then turns and whispers, don't forget the oleo. Alright. Let's go west into the living room, and then we're going to go explore outside. Actually, let me go back in here and grab all this money and gems and shit. I'm rich, biatch! Okay, let's head into the forest. You're in the midst of a recently planted forest. It was originally an old growth forest, but Oregonian lumbermen cut it down sometimes during alpha testing. There are trails to the south and southwest. Oddly considering the hour, the sun is hanging on the horizon to the east. A number of trees have been felled and chopped into pieces, either for lumber, or I lost my place, either for lumber or burning in the stove. The pieces have piled, and the piles all form a single straight line. A strong wind is whipping through the branches of the trees and shaking the undergrowth. Winter is coming, and many trees are changing color or already bare. The tree closest to you is just a bit of foliage clinging tenaciously to the branchlet. Overhead, in the branches of the trees, you can see a twiggy, grassy bird home. A twiggy, grassy bird home. It's occupied, however, not by birds, but by ornamental vases of the sort often used to store cremated remains. A pack of dog-like carnivores are lurking in the undergrowth. They seem to be humming the theme from West Side Story. You also see a red-breasted bird here. Alright. We can derive lots of names from these things. Let's start with Robin, the red-breasted bird. If the robin lands, it takes the form of a young man. At least you think it's a young man. It's hard to tell under the mask and cape. Holy restored souls! Don't worry, Batman. I will catch the evil warlock Lost Stormkiller and bring him to justice. In a wink, he is gone. And your score has gone up by 1. We also have Dawn from the setting sun, or the rising sun. You squint into the sunlight at the approach of a woman. Her eyes blaze and light seems to stream from her hair, her face, her fingers. She wraps her warm arms around you, stoking a deep fire within you. Soon she is gone, and the world seems like a darker, colder place. Here I go. Here I go. Alright, let's see. We have a gang of carnivores or wolves. That's a wolf gang. A man slinks out of the underbrush. Ouch! My soul is restored. He licks your hand and bounds to the woods. There's also a bunch of urns in a nest. Ernest. A man comes crashing down out of the tree where the nest used to be. Don't worry, I'm really all right, he insists earnestly. And I want to really thank you for restoring my soul. Bye. There's also a bunch of piles of wood that are all stacked in a row. Woodrow. You have to think England, London, British, UK, Europe names. You can't just be thinking of those American trashy names like Bob and Ronstock. A man comes walking down the line of wood piles. He wears a starchy white shirt, hatless visor, and thick glasses. 12 piles, 2 cords per pile, stacking fees, net profit of... Oh, hello, young sorcerer, and sincere thanks. By the way, remember that expense incurred in saving lost souls is fully deductible. By the time you finish pondering the tax advantages, both the accountant and the wood piles are gone. We also have lots of leaves out here. Leaf! The tree is now completely bare except for the muscular man with red hair, and the beard is hanging from one of the highest branches. He lets go and despite his considerable size, flutters gently to the ground. Leaf gives you a friendly clap on the shoulder, which sends you sprawling, before heading into the forest for a little exploring. There's also gales of wind described. So we have gale. Woo, says the wind. Woo, says the woman with the wind-tossed hair. What a trip. Thanks, Daddy-O. But now I'm gonna blow this joint. She departs whistling through the trees. And that, folks, is the end of our episode here, and also the end of the forest. We have several other places to attend to, and free some more lost souls in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching.